Hi, Cory. How are you?
I'm great.
Welcome to Indonesia.
Thank you.
Many jazz musicians saying that it's very hard to be able, like achieving lots of gigs and things like that. So to be able in the position where you are right now, what is your secret recipe? What is your routine?
Yeah. It is very easy to get music out there right now, but it is very hard to stand out. And I think that is because there's so much noise. There's so much music that's coming out more than ever at every week. And that's amazing because there's a very low barrier to entry. So I can just decide to put out a song and across the world, you can hear it tomorrow if we wanted that to happen. But the trick is to find some way to stand out in the noise. I think the hardest part for musicians to figure out, and myself included, the hardest part has been to find kind of a signature voice in the thing that you do, whether it be on your instrument, the way that you write, the way that you produce, but more than anything, just what is it that you do that's unique? And I think that's the hardest thing to find. And I think a lot of musicians start by learning their craft, mastering their craft, mimicking their heroes, and then they kind of don't know where to go or how to go to that next level of finding their own voice and becoming their own self on the instrument. And for me, that was a long, long, tedious process. And when I finally got it, it very much clicked. And it was all of a sudden I had this thing and I felt like I captured it, but that was the hardest part. And then as far as touring, there's just kind of a relentless pursuit that you need to have to keep at it. And you need to be very persistent. I think there's a lot of people that are really good, that have a unique voice, that have a unique fingerprint in music, but they don't have the same level of perseverance. They don't have the same level of drive to get out there and make that voice heard. And I think there is a lot that you need to sacrifice to do that. But for some of us, it feels like, I don't know. Like I firstly, I don't feel like I have a choice. It feels like I have to do it, but in the best way.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Of course, we do know jazz is evolving. And the question now is how, what is the thing that makes you to make it just as relevant, especially in the younger generations?
I feel like jazz is an art form that has constantly evolved. If you take a look at early big band music, Dixieland music, bebop, post-bop, jazz fusion, R&B jazz, and all these different lineages of jazz and all these different branches that have happened, it is an ever-evolving genre. And I think some people forget that. And, like I was just saying, we're finding your voice, finding your own unique thing. Part of that is using the influences that you grew up listening to and applying those to the music that you're playing now, and using your life experiences and your worldview and the way that you connect to and the way that you experience life. You can express those things through music and through jazz. And jazz has been a vehicle for that because it's an art form that celebrates improvisation and being in the moment and just playing kind of a language. Like it's assumed that you have some of the language down, but then kind of learning how to speak it on your own. You need to learn the words and then just use it to have your own personal conversation. How do we relate that to the next generation? I think the best way is for us to do that exact thing that I was saying, is where we express our art form using our life experiences and the time that we grew up in. Like, I grew up listening to Weezer. Miles didn't. And he shouldn't, right? Like, it's, of course, the way that I approach the guitar is going to be different than the way that Scofield approached guitar. I grew up listening to Soundgarden. Scofield didn't grow up listening to Soundgarden. I grew up listening to John Scofield. Scofield didn't listen to himself. I mean, whatever, you know what I'm saying. But I think those sort of things are the things that will help push the genre along, but also as far as keeping it relevant to any generation, it's really just about being honest with how the music sits in the current culture.
Okay. With your achievements so far, that you did a lot of projects, collaborating with many musicians, how did you portray yourself right now? And how did you see yourself like in the next 5 years?
I guess I have objectively achieved a certain level of success. I am objectively successful as a musician, which is wild to me because when I first started doing this, I just wanted to be able to pay my bills playing music. You know, I just wanted to be comfortable, be able to get through life, not have to have another source of income other than music. So I would teach lessons, I would play on sessions, I would do writing sessions, I would do all kinds of things, play gigs, whatever gigs, any genre, any style, I would always do that. Now I have the fortunate position where I get to do pretty much all my own original music and projects where I get to be myself and do my own thing. And that's wonderful, that's incredible. I feel like that has taken a lot to be able to get to, and I'm very fortunate and grateful for that. As far as the next 5 years, I hope to just continue to build on it. I hope to not get complacent in my own playing and writing. I hope to continue to strive to be better as a musician, and I hope to be better as a performer, a better band leader, and hopefully that will in turn reflect in, you know, the amount of people that come to the shows, the amount of people that listen to my music and buy my records, you know, and I just want to keep it continuing to grow. But also I want to continue to develop my voice on the instrument and what I have to say with it, because I do have it now, but I also don't want to just be stuck in one thing forever. I want to continue to grow and have a larger depth and a wider color palette to choose from in my own voice.
Okay. For the WartaJazz Festival, is there anything in particular that you would like to anticipate or you prepare for the Indonesian audience?
This is my first time playing here, so I really wanted to make sure that I put together the best set that I think I have right now. And that means the stuff that I feel like my band is the tightest on, the best arrangements, the tightest arrangements, but also the tunes that have built-in moments where we can explore and live in the moment. Because I know a lot of the lineage of this festival, I've seen so many videos of some of my favorite artists playing at this festival and playing incredible shows, magical sets. And I want to make sure that I really represent the tightness and arrangement of my band, but also leave room for that magic in those songs as well.
Okay. With all of what you just said, then how is a Cory Wong defining jazz for yourself?
Can you ask that one more time, please?
What is your own definition about jazz then?
I think jazz is an art form that celebrates harmonic depth, harmonic exploration of self, and it has it's the sort of thing where there is an understanding of a history that is to be respected and honored and learned, but I think it's also, jazz is also something where you need to be able to contribute to the conversation, to move it forward rather than just playing the language of the past.
Okay. And speaking about nowadays topic like AI, are you interested with that? And if it is yes, what is your opinion about that? Or what is your expectation about it?
Yes, as somebody who is genuinely curious, in general, I'm absolutely curious about AI. I think it's fantastic. I think there's versions of AI that we've used for years. I think in a lot of ways, like an 1176 compressor is some version of AI where it figures out a signal and it like attenuates the signal to make sure that there's, it's an adjustable thing. Like there's versions of very simple AI that we've had in music for generations. But I think we are in a very interesting time where there's some territory that we're going to dive into that has the potential to infringe on intellectual property, and I think that's where a lot of people are worried about, like AI Paul McCartney, where I could sing something into a microphone and then the AI will process it and all of a sudden it will sound like Paul McCartney singing. That's really interesting. I'm fascinated by that. But it's also, we have to ask certain ethical questions on what does that mean for Paul McCartney? What does that mean for creativity as a whole, as a species, But I think what it will do is, in the end, it will call us up to all be better. And for those of us that are up for the challenge to be better and to really be honest with ourselves on what creativity is and what it is that humans bring to the table, how we connect emotionally, how we connect personally, interpersonally with each other, I think we're going to be challenged in those things. And I think those of us that are up for the challenge will find ways to grow in the depth of our creativity and our interpersonal connections through those challenges.
Okay, lastly, what do you like to say to the Indonesian music fans, especially in particular the jazz fans that are coming to the festival?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I did not realize there were so many fans of me here, and I am very excited about it. I don't know where you've all been hiding on the internet. I normally gauge where I'm going to go by what kind of, what the interaction is with people on the internet, and I'm very excited to be here. I'm so thrilled to know that there's so many Indonesian fans of what I do, and I am here to put on the best show that I can for them today, and hopefully it's something that we can keep coming back and playing more and growing more, and I'm very excited for it.
Good luck for the performance.
Thank you.